Hi guys, welcome to this video and welcome to my channel. My name is Laura, founder of Pleiadian Healer at pleiadianhealer.com. And today we're going to review one of our most favorite new agers, or rather new cagers, and this is Magenta Pixie. And now we're missing like the little drum beat that goes up. So let me just share the screen real quick. Why is Miss Magenta Pixie our favorite New Age misleader to review? Well, first of all, we've already had a few encounters with this woman, okay? And she looks nothing like a pixie, okay? So let's just pull up here her Instagram page as well. So what is a pixie really, just to analyze her name before we get into her material? A pixie is a fairy-like supernatural being in folklore and children's stories with pointed ears, a pointed hat. I remember pixies also looking nice, you know, like skinny and attractive and whatever. This woman here looks nothing like a pixie. So just another deception. You know, her name is wrong other than the magenta maybe, which her hair looks more like brunette in this picture. But everything's basically wrong. Like everything's misrepresented with this person. Horrendous energy in this one too. So yeah, let's just go into this. We already have a few videos on the Magenta non-pixie, and we have like exposing Magenta Pixie, biggest bully of the New Age community. This one was originally aired, I think, back in September already, and it caused a whole lot of toxic energy on her Instagram, which we'll go into that too. And then we have Magenta Pixie sends psychic attacks, the dark truth. So that video is pretty good. Tony Sayers has a whole bunch of videos on her as well, you know, with her and Cat's Magic, how they were basically causing him a whole bunch of trouble on his own channel too. So Magenta Pixie, something I noticed just because I've been, you know, having an eye on her YouTube channel since September, and her followership has not changed at all. It's the same as it was pretty much a year ago. Gigi Young, which is basically what started the entire drama, because I did an exposed video on Gigi, who's basically just, you know, a nothingness, a little nothing soul or whatever. That kind of triggered Magenta Pixie, and then I just did a video on Magenta Pixie, and that triggered Magenta non-pixie even more. But basically, I started, you know, just kind of checking out her YouTube channel, and there's like, how many followers does she have? Oh, nothing, it's not growing. So that's weird. No one new is really following her over the past year already. If you look at her videos right here, typical New Age garbage. I mean, you know, I really hate to say the word garbage, but it's always the same trash. You know, it's always like, oh, yes, 5D Ascension, the Ascension Gateway 1111 of the Rose, as if Magenta knew anything about roses, really. Roses have to do with heart healing. This woman obviously is in need of heart healing. So perhaps she should just grab a rose and do some healing with it. They have like New Age naysayers right here, which is her husband in a weird underlit room, just regurgitating something that no one really cares about. It has like 8,000 views. It's like nothing, right? So yeah, they're not really good with camera setup. I don't even know if she uses a microphone. Once again, if you want to get a kick-ass microphone, ask Marina Jacoby where she has hers from, because her microphone was the bomb. Like, it was amazing. Not her content though. So yeah, it's like these really strange videos, you know, which is okay, this is amateur. And I believe her husband even calls himself an amateur, what is it, video maker or amateur actor? I forgot what he said. He commented on one of my videos. So let's just go into her website, which is amateur. I mean, for the lack of a better word, I have seldom seen a website that looks this bad. Like, you can see this is like no graphic design. You have like ads on her website, so you already know she earns some money with ads off of her website. Travel bloggers do the same, by the way. So if you get enough clicks on your website, you can make a little bit of income with that. It appears they really need that too, because Surprise, surprise. Magenta Non-Pixie doesn't offer any sessions. She lives off of donations right here. Here's a donation link. You have testimonials from the time when she used to do sessions or whatever, but then the video's not available. I wonder why. There are certain links to all these people which might be worth reviewing. Galactic Connection, Teal Swan is high up on my list, you guys. Oh my gosh. Laura Eisenhower, who's always drunk in most of her videos, at least the ones from like 2 years ago. So she always has like her teacup and drinks alcohol. And then at the end of the interview, she's always like drunk or whatever. So these are the people Magenta Non-Pixie likes to hang out with. I like her non-pixie name better than the pixie name, just because, you know, if you gotta be true and honest, she's not a pixie. A pixie's not, doesn't look like her. So you have a blog, which she probably doesn't even write in that anymore. You know, you have like all these links. It's confusing. It looks like a kid created her website somehow. So you have these articles. Ooh, the Great Financial Economic Reset, positive, negative timelines, bifurcation. Surprised she knows that word. The Pirate and the Princess. You have all these fictional stories because they never name the people by the real names. You know, like the Donald T is called the tea tree oil guy. So it's just, it reminds me, honestly, when you go through her Telegram group, which we'll go through a few of her dubious messages on there, it kind of reminds me, like, I just landed in a childhood room and I'm working through a whole lot of childhood trauma of her own, because there's something there. Yeah, I got a comment on one of my videos about her where a person was being like, well, her father, Magenta Non-Pixie's father, was a hypnotist, and basically he probably hypnotized her from day one, you know, probably put in MK and then ultra program or something. I'm like, yeah, that would make a lot of sense. But that's not something I said, that's something a comment said on my video. And I'm like, yeah, that would actually make a lot of sense, because every time she reacts to something, when someone criticizes her, it's this huge drama, right? So here you have like an about Magenta. This woman looks so young in this video compared to how she really looks in real life right now. It must be at least 20 years old or 30 years old, that picture. Very deceiving. You know, you put up old pictures of yourself on your website, you can't be bothered to change it. Like, that's pretty much who this person is, right? Okay, so these are channeled messages coming from a collective energy who present as 9 white-winged beings. I don't know, is that right grammar? Is it like who present themselves as 9 white? I mean, see, this is, it really ticks me off when native English speakers can't speak English right, because, you know, I'm someone who actually really had to learn English, and then when someone comes along who actually grew up with the English language, they can't even speak it right. So I don't know, we're going to let that slide though. The white-winged collective of the white-winged collective consciousness of 9, mind-blowing. So basically she's channeling entities, okay? And she calls them Arcturians, whatever. They're just random demons in the astral realm. The channel, Magenta Pixie, has been receiving information. You just got to laugh about this, right? Like, they call themselves the channel and oh, high and mighty since 1993. So she's been around. She's definitely older, one of the older generation. Nothing against age. It's just, you know, you kind of got to act your age, Magenta Pixie, and you're not acting. You're acting like you're a 2-year-old in the body of a 70-year-old. Okay. So 1993, but has now been told to release this information to other like-minded souls and those known as light workers. I wonder if there are dark workers. Just a rhetoric question. The term light worker is obviously so new age. The 9 say, united we stand, divided we fall. Wow, I'm pretty sure that's from some sort of book or something. They say that it is time for the light workers, the mediums, the researchers, the scientists, and all those with differing perspectives on Earth changes, now taking place, to come together as a collective force, bringing forward their knowledge in whatever way that may be. I have to say the copy of this text is not very good. It must be very old. See, everything's kind of amateur about this website. It's the same with Elena Danan's website. You need to have someone write a proper copy for you. You just, less adjectives, you know, shorter sentences to really grab people's attentions. But these people don't care. They just put something on their website. They leave it up there for 20 years. It's obviously not been changed since the year 2000. At least that's what it looks like to me. And yeah, very, very non-professional. But whatever works for them and their ads plastered all over their website. So it is the time of the gathering of the like-minded and the place that you can freely network, share information, and harness that amazing life force energy. So whenever someone says harness, for me, that always means harvest. Magnified so brilliantly when you are together is here on the internet. That's what the 9 have to say. It doesn't really sound that enlightened to me. Also, what is so funny, where I almost had to laugh, if I had like a cup of water, I would have like blew that water right out. So freely network and share information. Well, she's known for censoring people, right? Like she's known for trying to take videos down, for even taking my channel down, the old channel. So what are you talking about freely networking and sharing information, Magenta Pixie? You are the demon of censoring people, okay? And it's going to bite you in your behind. I can already tell you that much. So the 9 speak of the many clues left for you everywhere, and that the journey towards ascension, so of course the ascension, the 5D ascension trap, is akin to a cosmic treasure hunt, and that you left these clues for yourself. The clues are throughout history and architecture, art, music, literature, math, blah, 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 blah. All right, yeah. Okay, so that's her about. I think somewhere she even says her age. She's born in like 1965. In my opinion, she looks older than that, you know, but whatever. I mean, it's another thing. She calls herself like a spiritual teacher, but she's not living the part, you know, like her body is falling apart somehow. It doesn't look very fit. If you're like so spiritual, you should kind of take care of your own body, mind, and spirit. You know, it's like these 3 components, not just one component, which is your mind or whatever, because I don't think you're taking care of your spirit either. So, I mean, spirit's like soul, right? Yeah, I mean, absolutely not. If you're just causing a lot of drama in your Telegram groups and whatever. So I don't know. You know, I think this person could look better for their age, but to each their own. Genetics are probably also something that play into it. And, you know, her appearance is not really the main thing I want to criticize in this video. Her person, if she had a personal trainer, he would probably criticize that anyhow. Okay, so then we're going to go to her Instagram right here. Just random stuff. You know, this picture right here is another old person. Great. Yeah, if you're in the same age group, I guess these pictures would be, this is what really got my attention. Okay, so someone transitions and this energy is so off to me. So these are her friends. Wow, you already know that you're dealing with like embodied witches here, right? This poor dog, like all I can think about is dogs love, like dogs have unconditional love towards everyone. So of course they're gonna be kind towards her too, but I'm not sure if these people are really kind towards any animal, honestly. Okay, so you had like this galactic something where a whole bunch of other new agers were mentioned that are worth reviewing. Yeah, so, you know, honestly, it's just a bunch of like weird amateur looking copy on both her website and her Instagram, and a whole bunch of plagiarized images, you know, like none of her images are her own. I do want to point that out. So let's just go here. You know, when the entire Gigi Young drama blew up, that was interesting. So Magenta Pixie could not keep her nose in her own stuff. And basically this post blew up where I just kind of scroll this back. Mean girl, angry female hater, who has expressed her extreme displeasure towards which she calls the new age. Yet she is the one who calls herself a starseed healer. So she doesn't obviously mention my brand, Pleiadian Healer, because if she were to mention that, everyone who puts that in, Pleiadian Healer and Magenta Pixie, would come across my videos, which they are anyhow. Honestly, they're going to blow up. I already know it. So yeah, interesting how she had to write that one. I already made a whole post on it though. Now she mentions all of these like Lori Ladd, Elizabeth April. Wouldn't it be funny if Magenta Non-Pixie got a reading by Elizabeth April? And Elizabeth April is known for giving deceptive readings. If she actually ruined Magenta Pixie's life, I would be really laughing my behind off if that happened. But that's not how these people are. You know, some people even said Magenta Pixie is like a handler to these other new cagers. It could very well be. I don't care about that. You know, like they're all in the same boat, in my opinion. They're all deceptive. So I don't really care about that energetic aspect. But I think there's a video somewhere that someone made, and I was like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so then she goes ahead and makes like 5 more posts. Anyone who stands with hatred or jealousy in their heart towards me, I send them love. Does that look like love? Nothing of this has anything to do with love. Anyone who tries to put me down, make personal comments about my appearance. So she got really triggered when people criticize her unfitness. She honestly gets triggered. And to me, that means she's not confident about her appearance, because if someone comes to me and tries to make fun of my appearance, I don't care. I have a skin as thick as any elephant out there, because I'm not insecure about how I look. You know, like I know what I know what I look like, and I know how much I put into my appearance. I know how much I actually do with my body, how much I honor my body, how much I work out. So it already tells you she's very insecure about her appearance. Accuses me of things I have not done and would never do. I have no idea what she even means by that one. Or spreads lies about me. I forgive them. Yeah, but nothing about however she reacted towards this is forgiveness. Okay. So yeah, so she made this post with a griefing crow. And then she made this wolf post. That's already like 3 posts just on Pleiadian Healer, also known as the Starseed Healer. This is number 4. There are mean girls about, but always remember the hater drinks the poison. So now all of a sudden she calls me a mean girl, which is almost slander, right? And okay, to each their own. So that's post number 4 or 5. I've heard this is post number 5. And then she's like, I'm wondering if this okay, so this is not necessarily, but this is one. Okay, what do you mean the hater drinks the poison? Can you please explain it? I highly doubt people even ask a question this obvious. So whoever feels the negative emotion is the one who suffers. So she must be suffering quite a bit, because she looks like she's feeling a whole bunch of negative emotions in her life. I hate to say that. I mean, looking at her pictures, this woman just, you know, she just looks so miserable half of the time, honestly. Like here, there's like, even the smile doesn't seem genuine, in my opinion. So, you know, energy doesn't lie, first of all. Okay, energy doesn't lie. You got to work on your energy if you want to be a spiritual teacher or whatever. And she's not doing the work, in my opinion. These are all my opinions, by the way. So she had like 6 posts just on me. That's pretty mind-blowing how much she was triggered. And then I forgot if it was below this one. I forgot. There was like one post where that was like the kicker. A commenter commented like, what? You already made 8 posts on one and the same person. Shouldn't you be the bigger person and just let it go? And I remember reading that post and I'm like, that's a great follower pointing out the obvious, right? But no, she couldn't let it go. So then she made a post about the violet flame, and I have a video on what the violet flame really is. You know, it's like working with all these entities you don't want to work with. So that triggered her too, because then her supposed husband had to come forward and be like, she's ruining all of my teaching, all of my wife's teachings or whatever. I can't stand silent anymore, blah, blah, blah. Okay, here it is, bullies. Yeah, so, you know, I had a video on bullies, that she's a bully. And of course, in typical victim mentality here, Magenta non-pixie has to come forward and call me or others a bully. Okay, so I'm just like, are we like, this is like really, you know, here in the US, you have the thing called tit for tat. I don't know if that's like a universal English thing, but it's kind of like, what are you trying to accomplish? You know, someone calls you something, you call them something back. Like this is literally, you know, what she's doing basically. It's like a kindergarten mentality. And I hate to point that out, but it really is. So something with bullying, stop bullying. It's just so boring. Like, everything is boring what these people bring out. It's not even like original. The pictures they're using. Okay, so this one picture of me here, this is a stock photo. Like they can't even go ahead, create their own images. Like this is how non-creative these people are. They're stealing pictures off the internet. They're not giving credit, even if they're not stock pictures, you know, which they should. Otherwise, it's plagiarism. So they're not giving credit to the actual artist. They're basically just taking AI art. And these are your spiritual teachers. Are you for real? Like you can't even have something more professional looking on your feed. Like you really have to go ahead, grab random image. Okay. Anyhow, don't get me started on that. So, oh yeah. Oh, and there was another good comment below this one. So this is a comment below the poison, whatever. As teachers, is there absolutely no room for us making mistakes and accepting criticism? Why should it turn into a victim and a victimizer? We are all at different levels of truth. These are great comments, and no reply from Magenta non-pixie. Honestly, no reply, because this person doesn't know anything. Honestly, like this person, I am Maria Leonard. Great comments, but unfortunately on the wrong account. So that's her website. And okay, where are we gonna stop it? Are we gonna stop it on her website or her, you know what, we'll stop it right here with the video that I have on her. Okay, so no, actually I want to share some images. So let's share some images. Okay, stop share and then share a different screen right here. Okay, so the drama kind of continues. So I just want to share some imagery from our Telegram chat. So this is on March 15th, 2021 at 1:32 p.m. Just kidding. So Tony Sayers had this video where he's reviewing Lori Ladd, and that was, I believe, on that day or around that date. There's a commenter who's like, all the dislikes on here, because that was still back in the day when you can actually see the dislikes on YouTube videos. You can't really anymore. All the dislikes on here are from members of Magenta Pixie's Telegram group. She asked her followers to report Tony and get his video taken down. This is bullying towards Tony and not very 5D behavior, is it now? I watched the video and there's no attacking Lori. It's just calling out what she said. I used to follow Magenta and Lori and hang on their every word. Then nothing they said came true. And the pandemic and poor treatment of us humans got worse. It's always the best part, right? Like none of these people, by the way, none of these Magentas or Loris ever predicted the pandemic to be in 2020. And they're always backpedaling. We're like, oh yeah, oh no, it was supposed to happen 2022. Oh my gosh, the timing's all right. But yeah, it was supposed to happen, the reset, blah, blah. So Magenta never predicted the pandemic, but this is your spiritual medium who you consult, but she doesn't know much according to that. Tony has as much right to voice his opinion as anyone. So go back to your 11 like communities and stop trying to bully this guy, because that's what you're doing. Absolutely agree with that comment. And it's great to see that people are waking up from that, because it's necessary. So here's one of the images from her chat. So this is around the same date. There was one where she put it down being like, okay, now you have to go to Tony's account and troll his account. So this is just something that was after. This is from Magenta Pixie Telegram group. Which by the way, her followership has not changed from a year. Like she keeps losing followers and then gaining a few and then losing again, very fishy. And then luckily her Facebook account was taken down. That was like the most obnoxious account I've ever seen. And luckily it was censored, taken down. That was like the best thing Facebook had ever done. I don't agree with Fraud Book on much, but I do agree with that, because that's just ridiculousness what she was posting on there. I just read many of your supportive comments over on Tony Sayers' videos of both myself and Lori Ladd. I want to thank you all so very much. So the supportive comments were basically like, Tony, go to hell. Tony, commit suicide. Tony, you know, they were basically very, very strongly negative and very harmful. Those are the comments this person supports, okay? So just take that in. There are still those who do not understand or realize why these videos are a personal and psychic attack. When that level of astral aggression, so there's nothing astral about a video. A video is a tangible 3D item. It's projected from a traumatized male towards an empathic, spiritually connected female. Like, this is how you know these people have issues, you know, like they're literally putting themselves in a victim mentality. Oh yeah, it's a traumatized male towards me, the high and mighty female. I'm even surprised she used the word female, because here in the US, female is kind of frowned upon, you know, after like the entire, like after the last 2 years or so. It's usually woman, you would say woman, but I mean, she's in UK, so maybe it's not that bad. Then every comment you make in support of that female acts as a psychic shield. There are those that say this is not about gender, but my reply is yes, it is. Oh, okay. So, wow. This is a person you're following for spiritual advice. Are you for real? Like, this is a rhetoric question. I don't need an answer. The true balanced male energy never attacks the female in any way. That is an inversion of the organic. So now she's calling him inorganic. Interesting. The male protects the female. So just as I thank Jeffrey Dougherty for standing as the protector for me, I thank you all for standing up against this attack for myself and Lori and every other soul. I don't think souls are following. I think it's robotors that are following her. This person is targeting. For those who still cannot see how this is an attack, then here are some words from the 9. And she just goes on with her garbage. No one really cares about it. So anyhow, that was like more than a year ago. It's just like something, some channeled stuff from entities, you know. Okay. So this is the kicker though. This is like December 2022. Lo and behold, less than 2 years later, she's censoring her chat. Okay. So let me guys read an email to you that I received after my now second channel is really blowing up again, because it's for once and foremost, it is actually not censored. So that's why I know all these videos are going to blow up. So the whole reason, so this person had messaged me being like, good Magenta Pixie video or something else, some other new age video I did. And then she basically explains that the whole reason, so this is a person saying that, not me. The whole reason I was attracted to Magenta was when she would say back in 2016 how we all have our own truths and that doesn't make any of us wrong. That really was a mind saver while dealing with all the TR and then U and then MP division. Apparently, that isn't how she truly feels. No, I could have told you from the start, that's not how this woman feels. This woman is toxic. I was in her Telegram group, both the private and public, and oh my goodness, the private one was toxic. So much ASS kissing and a ton of ego drama. I remember when I first joined, I thought, no way am I ever speaking up because someone will come attack me. Well, I decided to just be myself. When something sparked me to comment, I was going to. I got a few wrist slaps from some of the know-it-alls in there, but didn't let it push me out. I felt Magenta was harsh many times, but we all just kept holding on to every word. So this is basically a cult leader, okay? People being under the influence of this. Then recently, I was booted out for sharing a very spiritual experience on some hiking somewhere in England, and something Magenta has likely never gotten to do due to her physical state. So by physical state, you know, we all know what that means. It was 6 p.m. here in the US when I replied to another member sharing my story. So 11 p.m. hers. I know my comment was seen, and then I picked my phone up 5 minutes later and the group was gone. So she was basically deleted and blocked from it. Then she listened to another person's video who was saying Magenta wants those around her to play small, and she completely agrees with that. I haven't seen any videos of this person, might be worth checking out. I did find it deceptive of her to say you call yourself the starseed healer. I'm highly against people putting words in other people's mouths, but also realize why she did it, because she doesn't want to draw attention to your business. Okay, so this is just an email that I got randomly. Yeah, this is why people randomly message me. When you speak out, when you stand in your power and truth, like other people know. And there's a lot of dirt in Magenta Pixie's Telegram chat and group. So the kicker is this is December 2022 and she has to write this. So this is a woman who claims she stands for uncensored opinions and everyone can speak their truth. But as soon as it comes to criticizing her just a little bit, this woman goes completely ballistic and turns into, what's that? Like the bridezilla version of a non-bride. You get the point, right? She turns into this Zilla, for lack of like whatever, Gorilla Zilla. into the Magenta Zilla, the Pixie Zilla. We want to keep this chat as open and as free as possible and do not want to have to police it. That requires everyone taking responsibility for themselves. We are all adults here. Well, self-responsibility is of the utmost importance now in so many ways as we take back our power and own it. Well, it's not very self-empowering, is it? So this group has been created as a telepathic union. Strange. It looks like a pretty 3D normal group to me. Most members are open, empathic, and sensitive, so please bear that in mind when you make a post. We are discussing multidimensional concepts. If there is something you do not understand, then please ask. There are many members that can assist you and that want to help. These guidelines are not rigid rules. We do not want to mirror censorship platforms. Amazing. This woman even dares to use that word when she's the queen of censorship. Mind-blowing. Hypocrisy comes to mind. So basically, she's booting everyone out of her Telegram group who disagrees even a little bit or who posts stuff on hiking that Magenta Pixie is unable to accomplish due to her physique. Good to know. So let's go through a few of her concepts because this video is getting longer than I wanted to, and I definitely want to discuss all the stuff that she just puts in her group. This is one of them. So a random question. So she always pretends she gets these questions from people. Half of the time I feel it's just her coming up with these questions, but whatever. Magenta, I thought Earth herself was ascending out of 3D. So the question, I mean, the entire 3D, 5D is deceptive. There's no real 3D, 5D, whatever. It's just dragging you into all these dimensions. That's not the prerogative. The prerogative is to get out of any of these dimensions, okay? Like you don't want to go from 3D to 5D. It's just going to make you more complacent. So here's her reply, like a typical New Age misleader reply. Correct. And then I guess this is another question. Magenta, it seems like the message keeps changing. Make of it what you will. Yeah, and this is exactly why the New Age makes no sense, right? It's a cult. It's a complete deceptive practice. So are you ascending out of 3D, but the message keeps changing? It's a valid question, right? So this one she actually answered. Shifting through the different perspectives, but never changing. Message has been consistent the entire time. Okay, that's weird grammar, probably just because she's writing like in a group. With a group such as this, where small, short replies are made in response to deeply multidimensional questions. So it's basically a whole bunch of nothingness she's putting in there. Okay, so you can't give a reply, just say you don't know, Magenta. Then the landscape of that response can never be thorough enough to give you the full picture. There needs to be a multidimensional awareness within you in the first place in order for you to access truth from my responses presented the way they are in this forum style. Okay, so do you see an answer? I don't see an answer. So she's basically saying for more extensive responses, I turn these questions over to the 9 and bring them forth. So you basically has to channel these demonic entities and make a video on it on your crappy YouTube channel, which hasn't grown in over a year, by the way. And then the transmission, so the deceptive channelings for the book. So she wants to make a book out of it, which is, those books aren't really picking up, right? Okay, so it takes larger concept or teaching. Teaching is codex. Okay, so she's also encoding you with all of that. And then the replies are going to make much more sense as you are catalyst or triggered into your, okay, whatever, like all of that. Honestly, there's nothing in here. She's not even answering. Okay, so don't bother being a member of her group. You're never going to get a reply. And if you dare to question this dragon of a woman, she'll boot you out. Okay. Here's another one, something about Lucifer. Why would you want to watch a show called Lucifer? Lucifer is the devil, first of all. Okay. Okay, so downplaying Lucifer, okay. Something about attack from the dark ones to make us more prone to us. So then she's saying, okay, yeah, you're correct in your assumption, blah, blah. What, but oh yeah, there is a backfire as always, and no activated star seed is in danger of that kind of program. Do people actually believe this SHIT? Like literally, they've been following this woman for how long? 10 years? And this woman has not predicted the 2020 pandemic. Okay. She's not even predicted the correct outcome of a US and then election a few years ago. So why are people still following this? Really, it makes no sense. So basically, if you're an activated starseed, nothing can harm you. Okay, mind blowing. Why don't you just go out there and take the you know what and see how much harm it's going to do? Since you're an activated starseed, that shouldn't matter, right? So this mentality is so dangerous, you guys. So you're going to be okay with that kind of program. How about you just turn the TV off? Why are people even watching TV is my question. If you're really that high and mighty, like why is Magenta Pixie watching these shows? You know, so when a starseed watches this, is with different consciousness than the original intention. Okay, it's neutralized, recreate. Okay, oh yeah, the pineal gland is a projector of image as well. So the pineal gland, it's not 100% proven it even exists, first of all, and second of all, some people say it's a program, so make of it what you will, but this is just typical new age mumble jumble. Yeah, here's a question about fragmentation of the soul after the juice. Okay, so she uses all these things just to not be clear on what she talks about. Talking about regenesis, can't comment on the material. Soul being lost and scattered. So basically, she's never really revealing any of her own teachings, really. It's always similar to all the other New Ages we've reviewed before. You know, it's either plagiarizing others, or it's kind of just saying something overly general, like, oh, you're a starseed, 5D ascension, all of that stuff. Or it's basically saying, oh, wait for my book. Once the book is out, things are going to make sense or whatever. Anyhow, I think that's all. You know, there's so much more one can say on her, but to be honest with you, I already have like 2 videos. So I think for now, that's more than enough. I'm pretty sure this woman is going to post something somewhere because that's just the type of person this woman is. And I feel so sorry for her in regards to that. But some people don't take to criticism very well, right? Some people who've been around for a bit longer. And yeah, I hope you got something out of it. Share what you want. And I think it's important to draw attention to these things. And it's also important to notice they don't give personal sessions. They don't offer anything other than the donation link. So if you guys are interested in taking your own power back, you can go to my own website. I still offer all of that. And thank you so much for your support. If you're new to this channel, hit the like button, comment below, subscribe. We're going to grow this channel. We're going to explode this channel after all the censorship that you experienced in the past. And we're going to blow up. We're going to blow every single Magenta Pixie video up and all the others too. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Set your intentions. Until then, bye.